G'day, my name's Alex. I'm just putting this video together because a few people were asking about how to get TSL UMD-listener to work with Ross Vision mixers in Companion. TSL UMD-listener is just a recent addition in beta forms of Companion at the moment, written by Joseph Adams, and I think it's super handy. So it'll get Ross Vision mixers to talk to Companion, as mentioned before, and I'll just show you how to set that up step by step live. So just switching over to the computer in Companion, you need to add two things. You need to add Rosstalk, which lets you control the Ross Vision mixer. And in there, you will need to add the switcher frame IP address. If you don't know where that is, I'll show you. You press menu, and press the system button, which is over there. Go next, next. Frame IP address, and that's the IP address of your mixer. Obviously that has to be on the same network with Companion. So I'll punch in that address, 192.168.123. Oops, I missed a 0.0.123, and the port on the Vision mixer is 7788. I'm not going to save that because I've already got it running up here. It's happy. Once you press OK, you should get a green light, which means it's talking to it. The other thing you need to add is TSL UMD. So TSL UMD listener, that one there. There's nothing to change on that. Listening port, take note of that because you need to punch that into the Vision mixer, and I'll show you that in a sec. Port type, stick with UDP. TCP does work, but it is a bit dodgy at the moment. It is an early version. And protocol, stick with TSL 3.1. Again, I'm not saving that because I've already got it running here. So then you need to get into your Vision mixer and tell it to send TSL data to your Companion. In my setup, my laptop's running Companion. It's running 192.168.0.4. So jump onto the Vision mixer, and I'll put the camera on and press system again, which is to the left of the camera shot there. Go next, next, device config, and you need to add a device. And when you click add, SP is a serial port. Virtually no one uses that in the Rosses. They always use network ports, and so there's a million of those. Just any vacant number will do. Let's say slot 8. Scroll this to serial tally, even though it's over the network. Go next. Just go next again. Put in the address of your computer. It's come up with this because I've previously set it up, 192.168.0.4. Go next port. Remember the port number was, sorry, I have to jump back in the machine and have a look at that. I can't remember for sure. 9800. So you spin that round. I've already set this up, so I'm just going to skip past that. And then rotate this dial here, transport, change that to UDP. And what else we got? Center on. You probably want to turn this off, which is frame sync label. If you leave that on, you'll get on your Companion buttons the button number on the Vision mixer, like camera 1, camera 2, but you'll also get this frame sync format converter in brackets, which just clutters up the screen. So turn that off. And then push the dial in to save it. Again, I'll save this one, but it's not actually doing anything because I've already got several TSLs shooting serial data out via the network. To several devices, including Telearbiter. I digress. Okay, back to the computer. So now we've set up our Carbonite to send tally data to Companion. We'll go and set up some buttons. I've set some buttons up here before, my dress rehearsals, but I'll set up a fresh one here. So let's go a regular button. So for the button label, you can type in labels, or even better, use variables. Click on the TSL listener, and here you can pick the labels from button 1, this one here. So you copy that, edit, paste that into your button, boom, there's camera 1. So that's simply a label, that's all it is. You need to put down a press action. So in that you need to go to Rosstalk, and you're looking for Carbonite crosspoint. So I'll just type it in so you can see the same way if you're fumbling through this list. Rosstalk 2, that's that new instance I've installed. And by default, the destination is MB1 program, which is your main program bus, and then input, let's just say input 1 for camera 1. So now when I push that button there, it will actually press the button on the Vision Mixer. But we want to get some feedback. So if you go to TSL UMD-listener in the feedback section, you can add camera 1 on program. It's red when it's on, but you probably also want to add a preview, green, which is what I use in my one. So we'll put camera 1, but on the preview state, and we'll change the background from red to green. Let's go darker green to match the other one. So now, if everything's talking, we should be able to get a change of state there. So that's program on, off, and preview on, off. So there we go, that is talking. We can take that to the next level then, once you've done that. Of course I did. I've got a Raspberry Pi running on this, which is this page here. And I've set up triggers. And in the triggers, I've set up a bunch of DCA pages, which I'll just show you quickly on the camera. So over here, I've got, pardon the camera work, this is a Pi Companion, but on this page I've got some DCAs, and those DCAs, let me just move the camera a bit so you can see the console in the background. Those DCAs will drive faders on the desk in the background there. So if I jump back into Companion, I've got the trigger page set up, and these triggers, what I've done is set up a name, DCA on is what I called this one, and it's a feedback type, and the variable from the pull down box here is tally1 program operation equals true. So when tally1 is on, do an action, and the action is QL1 DCA fader level. DCA fader to level to 0, which is 0 dB. And then I've also added another trigger called DCA1 off. And so when tally1 program equals false, as in the red light is off, it sets the DCA to minus 6500, which I believe is 0. And that happens, I've found, with the Raspberry Pi. Just refresh and it comes good. So the beauty of that is, I'll switch back to camera so you can see it. On the Vision Mixer here, if you cut through cameras, we should get DCAs responding in the background there. You can see it on both Companion Pi here and also on the faders in the background, which I think is a super handy feature if you're doing audio follow with playback machines or cameras with effects mics. So thanks Joseph Adams, you're a legend for getting that going. I know it was a partial project and he just needed a bit of a kick, and I gave him a bit of a kick, and it's up and going. So I hope that helps. See you later.